All right, so picking up part two, we're just going to go over basically the upper body, arms and torso and head, and then we'll do a part three for the lower body. So again, I'm just going to kind of get up in here and do close-ups of everything so you can really see the details, and then we can kind of go from there. There's a good profile with the helmet. Get in here and you can really see. Come on, focus. There we go. There's this rounded piece on the top there that I did not catch. It's not on my model. Otherwise, it's pretty accurate. It's a good shot of the back. You can get a good idea on the neck here of the detail on the stitching. And then these straps, these shoulder straps, that's an interesting piece because it's hard to tell in the released images. So you can see here that it looks like it's just one big leather strap that runs pretty much all the way over and connects the front to the back, but it connects under on the front and over on the back, and then the shoulder piece is just hooked right onto that. So that's kind of an interesting piece to note. The other side's exactly the same. And here's the back plate. Again, another piece that was hard to see in depth, in high detail in the originally released images. And here's the kind of the chest piece. So this piece right here is one piece. This is one piece, and then this down here is a separate piece. The way I'm doing mine, on here it's just like they're attached, but they're not glued together, so they are separate pieces, but they're attached in a way and probably either glued or stitched down to the under fabric, so they really don't come off this character. But on mine, I did this rib plate like this. I actually printed it as I think I've got 6 separate ribs, and then I've got this piece of rubber. It's like 1/8 inch rubber, and I'm going to mount these on there and glue them all down to it, and then cut the rubber to the shape so that I have basically a rubber piece with these mounted on it, and then that'll give it some flexibility and allow it to move with my body as I'm moving. So that's kind of my plan for that piece. And then it actually will probably tuck underneath the belt there, and possibly I think I'm probably going to attach it directly to the cod piece, which is under here. So we'll get a good shot of that while we're here. So that's kind of how I'm planning on handling those pieces. And let me pause for a second. I'm going to put his arms up so we can get a good look at the stitching. All right, so this gives you a good idea of how the stitching on the fabric works. There's one little stitch right there. I can't tell what it goes to because it's covered and I can't move that piece out, but you can kind of see what the stitching pattern is. And then we can look at the shoulder plates. So this piece here is interesting. I've got it 3D printed as a hard piece, this black piece that goes there on the inside of it. My gut tells me that it's like a rubber flange piece that is just kind of glued on there and not actually hard. But in the toy it's hard, and it's impossible to tell in the show. So I don't have anything saying otherwise, but that's kind of what I think it should be. But I'm still doing it hard. I got it 3D printed. Actually, that piece is right here. I've just got it 3D printed, so. And then you can see the stitching on the arms and the flamethrower tube. So this is the back, the elbow piece. So I've got, there's a kind of a lip right here that I couldn't see. I couldn't tell was there in the reference. And then it has this wing on this side, but there is no wing on the underside. And I did not realize that either. So my piece is modeled without that lip on the front and with the extra wing. So unfortunately, it's a little bit off for mine, but it might be a detail for some of you to catch if you want to modify and account for it. I may just saw this wing off and fill it in with putty before I call this piece done to make mine more accurate, but we'll see. So that's that, and the other side is identical. I'll get a shot of it in a second here so that we can see this the weathering on it, but I'm going to finish this arm first. So here's the hand, or the arm gauntlet, the forearm gauntlet. I'm going to make sure I get a good shot from this angle of this piece because that was not visible in any of the reference images I saw before from these angles. All right, sorry about that. So a good shot of that part. Get a good shot of this barrel on this flamethrower here too. From some different angles. Sorry for it's so wobbly. It's hard to hold this guy steady and get a good shot. So I'll set him down. That'll be a little easier. And then the hand piece. All right, and then the other arm. Let's put his arms down so you can see the shoulder piece better. So here's the right shoulder piece, the weathering. And there's the elbow plate. And then here's the forearm. There's the handpiece. It looks like the handpiece has actually got red. Looks like the same red that's on the forearm underneath it as an undercoat. Like it was painted blue over top of the red, which is an interesting detail. So yeah, that's the upper body. I'm going to stop there and pick up the next video and do the belt and the lower body.